I have been contemplating a lot about feeling bored lately, about feeling stagnant, feeling lost, and but basically the theme here is boredom. And I've been beating myself a lot about feeling that way. I just feel like there's something wrong with me for feeling bored about my life. There's a lot of things to be excited about, but somehow when I really like microscopically look um into like my tiny minute to minute, second to second progression, it is pretty boring because my life has been generally my life is just the same, but overall it's pretty exciting. This is going to be really hard to explain, but however, let's talk about boredom. So I thought I've been contemplating a lot about it. I've been writing it all down here, and I thought I just want to share it quickly from scientific and also Islamic perspective about boredom. The main question here is like, how do we arrive to boredom in the first place? Maybe because we have been living such a fast-paced life and suddenly now it's slowing down, or from that fast-paced life you are receiving results upon results upon results, and now suddenly it's stalling. You're not receiving the same results or receiving less of exciting results as before, or doing the same thing on repeat. You're not slowing down. Is this the speed that you like, but it's just the same routine over and over again. And also because of that, things that used to have meaning now losing its meaning, is turning into nothing. So I feel like boredom is actually my own nervous system telling me that something is imbalanced, something is not right, and it's basically like a silent alert system telling me like you've got to sit down, you got to pause, you got to really like take a step back and like look at yourself in a bigger picture. Because our wiring system, our brain, well, neurologically, if you talk about from neuroscientific perspective, the reason why we don't feel bored is because our reward system is constantly being fed with dopamine injections. We all know that already, and it's pretty well talked about on the internet. But then the problem is either it's being overly stimulated, or it's now fried because it's just receiving reward all the time, or it's been underused. So if it's been, your life has been pretty stagnant and it was fine before because you crave that slowness, and now it's reaching to a point that it's sort of nothing, so now it's underused, so you need to like up it up a little bit. But if it's been constantly being fired up with dopamine, now it's craving bigger and bigger results, or bigger reward. Now you got to like slow down a little bit because it's all about balance. Interestingly, I was reading this book. It's one of the book, my second favorite book after Al-Ghazali. Imam Al-Haddad is like my go-to teacher. His book is available to be read everywhere. And so in chapter 5 of this book, he mentioned something about boredom, which is made me contemplate a lot more about our own creation, and like how is boredom related to, you know, feeding into our purpose of being created. So in chapter 5, it says here, we have to have our regular devotion. You have to fill up your time with acts of worship so that no period of time elapses, whether day or night, without being used in some act of goodness. And the following page, it says here, that which I have highlighted, he quoted another Imam, Ibn Ata'ilah al-Shadili, may Allah have mercy upon him. He said that because the real, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knew of the presence of boredom in you, in us, so Allah created a variety of acts of obedience. So I put here little notes from my own thinking that Allah knows that we are easily bored, so that's why there are different types of worship that we can do in our everyday life as long as we live on this planet Earth. And so we need to diversify your deeds and routine so that you won't feel bored. So I'm thinking that, oh, boredom is actually innate to us. It's like we have, as human, we are created with the tendency that we will feel bored. So boredom is something that is should be natural. It's not wrong, it's not weird, it's not something that I have to be harshly criticizing myself about. Boredom has purpose, and so I've dig up different types of videos on the internet to understand a little bit more about the purpose of boredom. Let's go back to my notes. This video is getting a bit chaotic. I'm so sorry. So bored is like when you will fall into doing nothing, and then when you do nothing, your brain will go into default mode. And in default mode, you're activating your decision making part, that is the prefrontal, and also activating the hippocampus, that is your memory box somewhere in your brain. If you just let yourself be bored without judging yourself, without being highly critical of yourself, like, whoa, why am I being bored, you will lead into daydreaming. During daydreaming, ideas will come up. There will be lots of memories replaying, and there will be some random thoughts, and there are also some critiques. Understandably, daydreaming can be nourishing for some people. Like, I'm a daydreamer, I really love it, but also at the same time, I also have this trait of like being highly critical of myself. Like, I am very firm. Like, when there is some time of memories replaying, I'll be like, why are we doing that? So I get angry with myself for doing things that we promise we don't do anymore. But the thing is, sometimes memory comes, it's replayed. What's wrong with that? Just look at it. It happened in the past, move on. So maybe there is certain things that when this daydreaming mode is being activated, we will feel uncomfortable. So hence, that's why we hate boredom. We don't like being in these thoughts, having these random ideas that we do not know. The prefrontal is anxious of like, I do not know what to do with all these ideas, with these thoughts, these memories. What am I supposed to do with them? So maybe there is certain other parts of us that hasn't reached acceptance. So hence, that's why boredom is actually a given gift, because in boredom, that means other parts of your life is also in pause. If it has been going way too fast and just churning through life without really taking the pause, is a sign to take a pause. So yeah, sit here, pause is good. Since boredom is something that Allah SWT is fully aware of, and He created us with this tendency to be bored, so that means that is natural for our wiring. So this explains why we are created this way. So that's why our nervous system is operating this way. So that means enjoy the slow or take the pause. When things are repetitive, it's time to diversify. But sometimes Allah has to create that massive like that stop button for you. If you do not know how to take the pause, Allah will pause life for you, and that's when suddenly things just taking a massive turn, or something big happen, and a car accident, or you are protected, all of us protected from those kind of things that we can't handle. But sometimes things happen, it's for us to like, whoa, take a pause and just take a breather for a moment. Our nervous system, our soul needs it. If our dopamine system has been so fired up and now it is asking for bigger and bigger things, now it's time to scale back and like find meaning in the simple things. Maybe you're also not getting the result, you're the kind of people who just constantly been getting results, and now you're no longer getting that result. It's also time for maybe understanding that there is a limit that the human can achieve, and for now, this is it. This is where you can go in your life. This is how much you can gain. This is how much you can achieve. This is the highest that you can climb up to. So now boredom feels like a given pause. It's a gift. It's a divine gift. So after all this contemplation, it makes me think of boredom very differently, especially when I found the word boredom in this book, because I thought boredom is more of like this modern days problem that us as this final ummah is struggling with, but apparently it is actually innate within us. So if you're struggling with boredom, you know that boredom is a gift. So as I was editing, I realized I didn't say a few massive points. Is we are created to worship, and so our existence here on this planet is to worship. And so even in that time of boredom, we are there to worship. Somehow our modern day living has put so much value in productivity, in achievements, in material results or physical results. We forget that our relationship with Allah means that everything is according to His timing. And so being patient, being trusting, being open to that is a form of worship. And you are given that pause to, or this moment of boredom, to contemplate on like, where had you been before? Have I been moving too fast? Have I been maybe a bit stagnant with our ibadah routine and stuff like that? So yeah, boredom is good. You have to appreciate boredom differently, and you have to appreciate slowness differently. And I know it's hard because we have been wired hard to consider to build a life in this physical world, but our ultimate destination is not physical, it's the other realm, there's the unseen world that we are trying to get to. Yeah, so how can we make full use of boredom is, number one, let the mind wander and don't judge it, don't be critical about it, let it wander, let it go all over the place. If you find something it's uncomfortable or causing pain, I read somewhere that pain within you is diagnostic. That is something that you still have to work on. Sometimes to move forward is just either to forgive or accept. Yeah. So then contemplate on the problem that comes up. So that explained my previous point. And then you can channel all this. Sometimes they will have random ideas or problem that requires solving, random thoughts, memories and stuff like that. You can channel this into creativity. You can turn it into a book, write a script, or write a poetry about it, paint something about it, or just create this your own journal entry and be creative about it, and let your results speak. I hope you find this beneficial. So that's all from me for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.